Hi everybody and welcome to Between the Pages. I am Rick Cook and today we're talking with Debby Dodds. Hi Debbie, how are you?
Hi Rick, good.
Fantastic. Now, for those of you who don't know, Debbie is the author of the YA novel Amish Guys Don't Call. I actually have it right here. This is a great book. I love this book. So funny. Powell's voted it or made it a best YA novel of 2017. Powell's Books right here in Portland. And it was featured in Random House's Better with Books. Debbie has had published over 25 stories, short stories, and essays. And she teaches creative writing, which is always a higher goal there. That's awesome. As an actress, on top of all that, as an actress, she has written and performed in stage shows in both Disneyland and Disney World. And I hear through the grapevine that she's had the thrill of screaming in several B-movie horror flicks. Now, is that true, Debbie?
That is true. Yes.
How'd you get? I want to know how you got that gig. That sounds like easy money.
That was probably the last thing I would see myself doing when I was studying drama at NYU undergraduate. I thought I was going to be a very serious actress in stage and possibly film. And the universe has a way of always taking me in a different direction the one that I thought.
The next time I go to a haunted house, I want you to be there with me. Just scream your head off.
I'm good at screaming.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, Debbie,
I embarrass my daughter all the time in horror movies. When we go watch horror movies, she's like, shh. I'm like, no, it's what they're for. They're trying to get you to scream.
Exactly. It's part of the fun. So, yeah. Well, Debbie is one of the authors in the upcoming anthology called The Phone. All of the stories in that book feature a very strange device, a chrome-plated payphone that shows up when someone dies. It gives the main character one last chance to talk to that deceased person or entity. What's super interesting is, I think, all the different authors in this offer their own unique take on that theme. And from what I've read so far, I think it's going to be amazing. Now, Debbie, your story in the anthology is called The Ills We Do. Tell me, when you were penning this, what challenges did you face?
When I wrote this, I was actually on a bit of a writer's retreat working on my novel, and I'm always like the worst procrastinator. And so I had 3 days I was just going to write and I was just going to work on my novel. And all of a sudden, this completely different story started coming out of my pen. And I was like, oh, this has nothing to do with my novel. And it was one of the only stories I've ever written, the whole thing from beginning to end in one sitting. And then, of course, workshopped it and got feedback on it.
Well, I love it when that happens. It's so rare when that happens, but it's a good feeling. Now, with respect to that story, what excited you about telling that story?
I would say, I always used to think writers sounded so goofy when they would say, I hear a voice talking to me. But that just came straight, almost like I was channeling somebody. Like it's definitely, it's first person, but it's definitely the main character bears no resemblance to me. And I have to be very careful. I don't want to do any spoilers, but it was a very like hard-boiled detective kind of thing. And I certainly watch a lot of TV shows that are procedurals. And so the lingo came very easily for me. But
got it. So when you wrote the story, how did you approach it? Do you have a writing method in general?
No, I'm a pantser.
Ah, okay. Good.
I'm not a plotter.
That's the fun kind. Now, with respect to the anthology, what story didn't you write or were afraid to tell?
It's not so much that I didn't write it. I did start to write a story for the anthology, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger. And I realized it's not a short story. It's something. So I had to shelve it and say, okay, well, this is going to be maybe a book I write later.
Oh, wow.
But it just felt like a longer story. So, but I originally started writing because it involves a ghost. So I originally started writing it for this anthology, but it kind of took on a life of itself, or an afterlife of itself.
As it were. Cool. So now, if the phone were real, who would you call first?
This is a really tough one for me to answer in a funny way, so I'm going to answer in a serious way. It would be my Nana Aid.
Oh.
And I would love to tell her how much my daughter is like her.
Oh.
I think that would be a topic of conversation that I would have with her.
Yeah, that would be really cool. All right, we're going to wrap this up now with a lightning round. I'm going to ask you a series of rapid fire questions. Don't think about them. Just tell me, the first thing that comes to mind. So, for example, if I say Marvel or DC, you'd say...
Both. Why do they have to fight? Why do you have to pick one? Both.
Right, Batman's already fought Superman. Now they have to fight the other guys? Come on.
I like them both.
All right, lightning round. First question, what's your favorite word?
It's hard. I love so many words. Halcyon, resplendent, but I think ineffable. Because I love that ineffable means that which cannot be expressed in words, and it's a word. I love that.
Nice irony there. Now, what's your least favorite word?
Anything hateful, obviously. Any kind of racial slur, anything that makes people feel bad.
Too much of that. Too much of that nowadays. Now, what turns you on?
Oh, Rick. Probably.
I'm going to have to put a rating on this now.
I know. Like, being at the beach. I love the beach and just being in water. Like, even if it's just like a bath or, just being in water. I'm a Pisces, so.
Oh, there you go. And the converse of that, what turns you off?
Mean people. People being hateful, people denying each other's experiences and humanity, and
Okay, good. What noise or sound do you love?
I think I'm going to go with beach theme on that one again. I love the sound of waves. Could sit and listen to that.
And the opposite, what sound or noise do you hate?
This is going to be controversial, but I hate the sound of sports on television, especially football. I hate it. I would rather hear fingers on a chalkboard than hear that. It makes me so tense, and I can go to a live sports game and everything's fine, but I do not.
The tinniness of the sound or something, maybe? Interesting.
I don't know.
I've never heard that before. Well, you are definitely unique in so many ways. Love that. What is your favorite curse word?
Probably the F word, but I also really love creative curse words like douche canoe, ass hat.
Yeah. Those are good ones. Good. Now, if
Swap muffin.
Oh, wow. I hadn't heard that one. I've been leading a sheltered life. Now, if you weren't a writer, what other profession, maybe you've had several, but what other profession would you like to attempt, one you haven't done?
I'd like to be a criminal profiler. Part of me would like to do that. Or something to do with neuroscience and investigating how the brain learns.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool. And what profession would you not care for?
Cleaning toilets, probably.
Yeah.
I think I would like that.
All right, well, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you show up at the pearly gates?
What do you want to do next?
Okay.
I'm a big believer in lots of different paths for after you die. I think reincarnation could be a possibility. I think chilling out in a heaven-like place could be a possibility. I'm for all of it.
Cool.
So I think it's like life. You get to choose what path you want.
Cool. Well, those are all correct answers. So for that, you win a consolation prize. Yay! You get a few quadrillion billion electrons coming your way as in the form of visual and verbal appreciation for you taking the time to be here today. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. It's always fun to talk to you, Rick.
There you have it, folks. There's an introspective look at Debby Dodds, one of the authors featured in the new anthology, The Phone. If you want to learn more about her or her writing, please grab a copy of this book. You can get it on Amazon.com or ask your local bookseller to order The Phone from Three Bird View Press. It'll be available as of early December. Thank you very much, Debbie. Have a brilliant day.
You too.
Bye.